Are we on? Yeah.
We are definitely good to go.
Yeah, we're good, yeah. Hello and welcome. It's Talking Elvis number 41. Vince is here as well.
Hi all.
And, when we said we first started doing this podcast, that we were basically recording what we said in the pub.
Oh yeah, that was
over all the
our,
years.
That was our theme, wasn't
and
it?
And it is fitting that we are coming to you live from the loving arms. We are in the same room, in the same pub. It's not virtual anymore, and
this
we are
is
in
the
pub.
first post-COVID
yeah.
get together we've had in 18 months, isn't it?
So we're literally coming to you live from the bar, as somebody once introduced Dean Martin.
Pub.
We are, because there's my glass of beer.
This isn't sound effects today. This is.
No, we're actually there. We're in the townhouse in Ely in Cambridgeshire.
This is very nice.
Which is very nice, yes.
Bit of rain outside, but I think we do.
We're nice and cosy in here, aren't we? Yeah.
Well, that's it, cosy, and I've had a very nice pint here, so happy days. So.
First of all, I plead innocent of all charges.
Talk about the good times with Talking Elvis.
Well, first things first, we must say, because what we normally say at this point, well, we hope you enjoyed the previous show. And the thing is, we didn't, did we?
We didn't.
We didn't think it was very good, so dear listener, so we do apologise for that. It turned into a bit of a rant. Yes. It seemed like a good idea at the time.
And I did say that part 2 of it was coming next week with my chat with Phil. And then I played that. Oh, well, they're washing their hands. That's good and hygienic.
We didn't check in either. What's all that about?
Phil, and I listened to that back, and I thought, I just had another rant.
Yeah.
So, sorry, dear listener.
Yeah, so it wasn't very good. So, so first of all, before we get into the wrongs and the rights and the plans and all this sort of stuff, is there any news? Any news in the Elvis world at the moment?
Well, I think takes hat off, puts black armband on, and says, "FTD warehouse has had a fire."
Is that where they sell the sofas? Was there a sale on?
There's always a sale on.
FTD. Get your beds.
Yes, the Follow That Dream warehouse. Now, what's that going to lead to? Is it going to lead us to people putting CDs on eBay at ridiculous prices?
Every chance. So this is the main one in Denmark.
This is the Denmark warehouse. So
they must have more than one warehouse.
Well, I think this is where it starts out, and then it goes out to Essential Elvis and Now Dig This and whatnot, and wherever they are. Because they're not sort of retail, are they? So the photos that were online, it was shocking. You could see back covers of boxes of CDs on the floor. Obviously, there's the fire damage, and then there's the water damage. Oh. So I wouldn't mind rummaging around the bins.
You might find a few gems, and all of a sudden, if they start skipping a note here and there, you'll know why. Depends if you've got a waterproof CD player, really, doesn't it? I suppose, So that's a shame. So look out for your stocks, folks. You might have to shop around for the old Follow That Dream label ones at the moment, just in case they start running out. Talking about Follow That Dream, they're still talking about the on tour. Follow That Dream, aren't they? Which may or may not be released next August 2022. We don't know yet.
We hope so. I mean, it's bound to, isn't it? I mean, they did that. That's the way it is. That was such a big success, but it is that for this.
Do you think it's going to be another £100 set?
That's what I'm thinking. It's because obviously David English has said that they're working on it again, and. That's the trouble. The top end market of Elvis at the minute. I'm starting a rant again. Tell me to go off. But we seem to be aimed at everything's £100. We've got the ninth sold out DVD coming out at £34. Yeah. You've got to put grand in your pocket to be a fan these days, haven't you?
And what Potluck was £60, wasn't it?
That one's coming out as well.
Yeah. So it's all there for you still while stocks last. Yeah, we've got one or two things coming out from Follow That Dream, so we'll see. And we've got one or two on general release as well. We've got the Nashville thing coming
71
up.
now.
Very soon.
That I'm looking forward, because we've had, what do we had? I'm Leaving and Amazing Grace released on Spotify. And
Amazing Grace was just last week, wasn't it? So,
so very, very nice to have a couple of tracks. I mean, that just makes me want to see that treatment done for the 69 sessions, but does that mean I've got to buy it yet again?
Yeah. It's only been on about 12 different albums at the moment, isn't it? Some of those songs. So yeah, we'll get there eventually. So other news. Oh my God, I have to say, I was trawling through the BBC News website, and of course they covered the recent Elvis Tribute Artist Festival at Porth Call, which is you get lots of tribute artists come from all over the world for that. It's a quite famous one, considering it's such a small Welsh town. But of course they had the usual headline in there, so Elvis fans are all shook up, and all this other stuff. So it's
has
like,
become...
like please media companies, stop doing that type of thing.
We're heading into rant territory again.
Yes, I know. We need to stop.
Reel it in.
We need to stop. Okay, so we had all that. And also, we're recording this on October the 12th, 2021, but here's an anniversary in the Elvis world for you.
What is it?
It's significant but sad a little bit. On the 9th of October, 1973, is the day that Elvis and Priscilla were officially divorced. And there's photographs where you see them coming out of the courthouse hand in hand, so that's an anniversary of such, so we thought we might mention it anyway. So
I think she did all right in the settlement, didn't she?
she's not too badly off, it has to be said.
I don't think we need a whip round.
No, we don't. No, so we might be having a whip round in this pub every time now. So
this is Henrik Knudsen from the Memphis Mansion in Randers, Denmark, and you are listening to the Talking Elvis podcast.
Okay, we learned this week about the sad passing of Elvis's drummer Ronnie Tutt, who joins what became known as the TCB Band in 1969 throughout till the end of Elvis's life in 1977. And I thought, what better way to have a little remembrance of Ronnie Tutt than to ask somebody who actually met Ronnie back in the day. And it's our good friend of the show, it's Jacqueline Felice right from Australia. Hello.
Hi, Ian. How are you?
Hey, nice to see you again. How are you? Everything okay?
So good to see you. It's been a long time and we're out of lockdown. Hallelujah.
And just in time for your summertime, isn't it?
Yes, I'm waiting on that. At the moment, it's a bit of a mixed bag. Every day you don't know what to expect.
Well, we're just going the other way at the moment. So the mornings and the evenings are drawing in already. So
right.
All good fun. So yes, Jacqueline, you've been up to Memphis many times. You performed at Memphis. You've done all the thing, and met lots of different people. You've sent me some photographs, some of which I didn't recognise, sadly. But tell me, how many times did you meet Ronnie? Just the one time?
I've only met him once. It was about 2012 that I met him very briefly. He was in a hurry, and so was Glenn Harden that day. But everybody else, like I've spent time actually getting to know and having chats with. I wish it was the case with Ronnie. With him, it was just a quick intro. Hi, how are you? Got to go. And that was it.
Yeah.
So it's a shame. Yes. I'd love to be able to tell a story, but I can tell you this, he's humble as anything.
Yeah.
Like all of them. Humble. You wouldn't get more humble people than that band and basically anyone that was around Elvis. If you talk to them, they're the most humble people. The most.
That's really good to know. I mean, it's like they did tour, didn't they, over the last few years, using images of Elvis on the big screen. Did he actually get as far as Australia?
Definitely. I saw him once in Australia. I've seen him a couple of times in Memphis. Yes, but they definitely came to Australia. Yes.
And he's even so he would have been slightly his late 60s and the 70s when he did the tours with the TCB band. And I tell you what, I don't know about you, but I still felt that he was as energetic as he was when we saw him in those shots with Elvis.
Oh, amazing. I mean, definitely. And I think that if you read the tributes that came into him, everybody says the same thing. He was the ultimate professional. He was brilliant. He could keep up with Elvis, which was incredible. Elvis was so impromptu, and to be able to do that is incredible. I think, and then he played with Neil Diamond, who's much more structured as far as a performer and with rehearsal. I just read this yesterday, actually, that he's very, he rehearses the band nonstop before he does a show, where Elvis would be much more fun, jokes, bit of structure,
I did see Neil Diamond's tribute to Ronnie during the week as well. He also recorded, I think, with Billy Joel, didn't he, on his first couple of albums, or a couple of his early albums, didn't he? Yeah.
Which tells you everything, what kind of a drummer he was and how in demand he was.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
It's just a rumor. But do you think that the drummer Animal from the Muppet Show was modelled on Ronnie Tut's because they look really similar?
Well, I mean, yeah.
If you think about it now, it's just mad. It's the wild hair, the eyes,
You're right about
crazy movements and all that sort of stuff. So,
right about that.
yeah, it's a sad loss. Whenever we lose one of the, whenever we lose one of the family, like I say, you have been and you've met lots of different people. Like I say, you sent me several photographs, some of which I didn't recognise, much to my shame. But you spent some time with some of them, and more than others.
Yeah.
Have you got sort of one or two favourites amongst the Elvis fraternity that you've met over the years?
Well, 100%. Like, there's a picture of me standing there with Joe Gershow, who was, the conductor to the orchestra that Elvis used to play with, and he used to go on and tour with them as well. And I met him at Lansky Brothers in the clothing store one time in Memphis.
Wow. Yeah.
He just came straight up to me and hugged me, right? And he goes, Elvis would have liked you. You're the type. And I thought, oh my God, tell me more. I want to. Anyway, we got a photo like that together. We had a bit of a chat, and he was a lovely guy, very humble, like the rest of them. Just so sweet. That was one, and obviously I've met. Like, one of the greatest things was to meet Lisa Marie, because she's, I not for any other reason than she's the closest to him. Oh yeah, I mean, and that particular photo was in the lobby of the Peabody Hotel downtown.
Oh, I love that place. Yeah.
Yeah, and I saw her walking across the lobby, and I was just standing there. There was no one else around. I said, "Oh, hi, Lisa Marie." It was the second time I met her. The first time was in Australia. And I said, "Do you mind if we get a photo?" She goes, quick, before anyone else comes, quick,
Oh, man, can you imagine? She would have been swamped, huh?
Yeah, and, she was very obliging, very sweet. And she's a tiny little human, like I'm pretty small, but she's even smaller.
You said you saw her in Australia because when she was sort of in between albums, Australia was one of the few places she actually performed live, wasn't it? Did you see her live, or?
I saw her live, and
performing live, yeah.
Yes, she toured the first album, To Whom It May Concern or something.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, and I saw her all those years ago in Sydney. She came to Sydney, and then I paid to see her backstage.
Oh, wow, okay, yep.
And get another photo. So I've got, actually, that's the one I sent you is from Memphis, but I've got another one from here.
Yeah.
Where I look much, much younger. Because I was. But
Indeed.
So I've met her twice. I've met Priscilla once, but I don't have a photo with her. But, people like Linda Thompson, lovely, so lovely.
Yeah, yeah.
And her brother, Sam Thompson, lovely. Just what's his name? George Klein and Larry Geller. I've met Larry Geller a couple of times. He's a character.
I guess so, yeah, because he's. I'm trying to think how I would describe sort of Larry Geller as a cross between I don't know his namesake Uri Geller and I don't know somebody else. I have no idea. Because of the spiritualist thing, I think.
That's right. Yeah, he was a spirit. He sort of was into spiritual type stuff, and he got Elvis into it and all that. And but he was also a bit of a hairstylist for Elvis, and he used to get in his ear while he was cutting his hair. And Elvis loved that shit. Did
he give you any tips while you were there? Did he try and mess with your hair at all?
No, but what's really interesting is that whenever he comments on someone who's passed away, he always does the Jewish way of doing it because he's Jewish, and he always says it the way Jewish people, like when somebody passes away, we say, "We wish you a long life." We
okay.
wish them a long life,
Yeah.
and their family and all that, and may their memory be a blessing. And that's what Larry Geller always writes.
That's pretty inspirational, isn't it?
It is, and it's a really nice thing to say and to do. So I think he was Jewish, but he wanted to explore other religions, and so he did that with Elvis,
Yeah. And I see also here there's a lovely picture of you with DJ Fontana.
What a
and
nice.
you were dressed. You look like you're probably either going on stage or just come off stage there.
That was in.
What did he think about? What did he think about that when we saw you? Because there couldn't have been too many other female artists then doing that show.
There wasn't. That was in 2007, the first Ultimate Elvis Tribute Artist contest in Tupelo, Mississippi.
Oh, Tupelo, okay.
Yeah, and I met him backstage as I was coming off. I just had my turn, and I was coming off the stage, and there he was. He was playing in the backing band for a couple of the tribute artists over there, and he was just a lovely man. Very obliging, and I think he did get a kick out of that. Yeah.
Wow, that's fantastic, isn't it?
Everyone, no one had ever seen that in Tupelo. I have photos of the people that own the hardware store that when I walked in, I was in the black leathers. I walked in, they were like, what is that? It was so funny. I love the look on their faces.
That must have been fantastic to see. And if you're wondering anybody about Jacqueline Black Leather, if you go onto YouTube or somewhere like that, you'll probably find that's the one you filmed with Viva Las Vegas, wasn't it?
That was white leather. That was
was it white leather? Okay. Well, it was leather.
I got both. No, I did Edge of Reality in the black leather.
Yeah, that's right. I was mixing that one up. So go along to YouTube, folks, and see Jacqueline do her thing there. One final photo, and I'm going out on a limb here. That you sent me just this morning is that Sonny West?
It is. Yeah.
Thank you.
And that was in 2007 as well. Lovely guy. I mean, just so lovely, very tall, so sweet. I mean, all of them were softly spoken, nice Southern gentlemen.
Yeah.
And it was a pleasure always to talk to these guys. They had thousands of stories, thousands of funny stories, and they deeply loved Elvis. When you know that when you talk to them, and it's better to talk to them than read it in any book.
Yeah. And I guess they must have talked to these stories time after time after time after time, and you think they would have tired of it by then, I guess.
Exactly.
But doesn't seem so, does it? It's everyone. I think everyone I speak to who's met these guys probably pretty much say the same thing as you've just said.
Yeah. I don't know how they do it, really. It's like Priscilla. She's got to repeat herself thousands of times every time.
Yeah, I guess.
But I guess showbiz is what it is, and they would have had to do that because Colonel Parker would have made them repeat things over and over again and stuff like that. I mean,
and talking to Colonel Parker, we have the Baz Luhrmann film coming out soon, didn't it? And that was Tom Hanks and everything was shot in Australia, wasn't it?
Yeah. Wow.
Was it?
Wait.
Something else, isn't it? So I'm looking forward to that one as well. So that'll be interesting. I've seen one or two little shots here. You've got some gigs planned over the next few months. Do you want to do some advertising right here, right now?
Sure.
Go for it.
Sure. I have in January for the Elvis birthday weekend. There's like a marathon of Elvises over that weekend. I appear on the 9th, which is a Sunday, January 9th, and that's at gasparo.com.au. That's how you book.
Okay. And
then there's the Blue Mountains Elvis Festival, which it's been moved to March because of COVID. It's a different time. And that is, I think I appear March 5th at the Blue Mountains elvisfestival.com.au.
And you've done that one before, haven't you?
No, that would be my
Haven't you?
first time. No, not that one. I've done
right.
This is a relatively new festival. I haven't done it before, but I've done Parks and I've done all the others, and that'll be exciting. I don't know the band or anything. It's going to be interesting.
literally turn up and start jamming, huh?
Exactly.
and now we're allowed out of the house, Jacqueline, which is great. Any other plans? Do you travel? Traveling in terms of get back to America, back to Europe in the recent, in the near future?
Oh, that would be a dream come true. I certainly would explore that in the new year for sure.
Yeah.
Probably not this side, not this year, but
yeah.
I need to go. I need to get to Melbourne, and as of yesterday, like Melbourne, Australia wasn't open even for me. So
wow.
I can finally go see my mum and my grandma who live in Melbourne, and then as soon as Western Australia opens, I'll be there. So I'll be a bit busy till next year.
Yeah, get first things first. Get these things out of the way, huh?
After that, I so want to go to Memphis. I so want to go to England. I've never been to Canada. I want to do stuff like that I've never done as well.
Well, there's a big place, isn't there? Plenty of places to go and see. Yeah,
exactly.
Fantastic.
What about you, Ian?
I'm booked. I'm going to America in June.
Oh yeah, that's right. You said that.
Yeah,
right?
I'm going to Vegas and New York. I'm not getting down to Memphis. There's a possibility of Memphis in September. So not August for the celebrations, but September. There's talk of that as well. So
fantastic.
I can't wait. The shackles are off again, aren't they?
Oh yeah.
You're fantastic. Anyway, listen, Jacqueline, thank you very much for coming on. It's been fantastic talking to you once again. It's been too long, as always, but
absolutely. Yeah. Thank you for always thinking of me.
Well, it's always been a pleasure. So you look after yourself. Enjoy getting back out and about again. Now that Australia is or part of Australia is opened up, and hopefully we'll speak to you real soon.
Excellent, Ian. You take care.
Jacqueline Felix, thank you very much.
Bye.
For the last show. So, how are we going to make up for it? What are we going to do in this show? See, the thing is, that's the problem, isn't it? Your reaction just there is the problem.
When we started the podcast, we wanted to talk about everything.
Yeah.
And we wanted to talk about everything not the same as everybody else. So there's a lot of people doing podcasts and we love it, and some do it every week, every day, every
well
5
done.
minutes.
Yeah.
And life just becomes, they're either reading Wikipedia to you or they've really genuinely done a lot of research and they're very specific. We've tried to be a bit more entertainment than information, I think.
Yes. Yeah. But we also did our research and did it properly. Apart from the last show.
Well, we had a lot of guests. We've had a lot of good people come through, haven't we?
Yeah, we had David English, who was putting together the That's the Way It Is.
Yeah.
Jacqueline Phillips from Down Under. We had, what's her name, Graceland, a couple of podcasts ago. Ashley Drew, of course.
Yeah.
Who else have you spoken to? Ben Shepherd, I think you spoke to.
Yeah, we had him for the author of that book, and then we've obviously had Victoria Page-Meyerink from
Speedway.
So
we've done all right.
We think now, well, what do we want to do? We don't want to squeeze something into a show for the sake of it.
No, that's what happened last time.
So we gave that a miss. So what do you think are our options?
Our options are to start dredging up the past of what we've already done.
And what others have already done.
Yes, indeed. Yes, which I think is probably going to start getting people to turn off, to be quite honest with you. Like I said, we've done all, we've had guests, we've done the film shows, we've done
Top
discos.
5 was very, very popular.
Top 5s were great. I'm still reeling from the fact that you didn't know that Mr. Ed was in Love Me Tender. Which is pretty good.
Memo to me, I hate Ian. Right, okay.
So that was quite the top 5s. So I think one of my favourite shows was when we went to Denmark. we've already mentioned Denmark and Follow That Dream We Had.
That was
one of my,
that
because we split that into 2 shows, and I really enjoyed those shows.
We got treated well there, didn't we? We got the full guided tour, and I think that show came out, and that set the level for us. I think that I'm hoping that people have listened, and the quality has been good, because you can just talk into any old microphone, and you can just do anything and get away with it. We wanted it to be decent quality. We've come from the discos, we've come from Radio Land.
Yep.
We wanted the same sort of quality.
Yeah, and I think in order to preserve that quality, I think we're probably going to have to just take a foot off the gas a little bit.
I think once a month I thought was going to be better than every week, and then it's still hard to find. So I think if we look for better guests that haven't been used before, which could be you, dear listener, because you have an opinion, we could have all that, but maybe do 3 a year.
I think so. Let's do just bigger and better.
Yeah.
Rather than smaller and not so good.
So should we pencil ourselves in for a Christmas special?
I think a Christmas special is very good. Now,
We wish you a rockin' Christmas and a cool Yule.
if anything comes up worth talking about, we'll let you all know and do a special. But if you've got any ideas, dear listeners, about what you want us to talk about, if you've got any ideas yourself, if you want to join in the conversation, then please just let us know. It would be, let me know through Instagram. You can do the Talking Elvis page there, or via the Talking Elvis website, which will still be up and running. So that's okay. So you'll still be able to get
We'll still be
all
putting
the old
cheesy
shows.
pictures up as often as
Yeah,
we
we'll
can.
still put some rubbish up. There's no problem there. We've been doing it for February 2020. So what's that? 18 months. I think we've done quite well.
I think you've got to go out like Fawlty Towers. You've got to not overdo it.
Always keep the people wanting more.
Yeah.
Was that was it Loving You, wasn't it? Was it when they said that? Always leave the people wanting more.
Yeah.
So that was quite good.
So what should we do now?
So I think I think we probably need another drink. We are at a pub after all.
That's good.
So
So should we have a word from our sponsor while we have a drink?
Yes, indeed.
Hi, I'm Ashley Drew, and you're listening to Vince on Talking Elvis.
I'll tell you what, some nice beer here. I like that.
You can't beat a Casca, can you?
You really can't.
Yeah. I think if I went to Graceland now, I'd have a great time going to Graceland, but I wouldn't half miss real ale.
Well, there's a bar in Memphis on, I think, from memory, it was just at the top end of Union Street there. This Flying Saucer Bar, and they do hundreds of different ales,
ales there,
from America. Yeah.
I used to tell American pale ale, it's not quite the same.
No, but it's worth a shot.
I'm not going to get a pint of Bathams over there. am I?
You ain't, no. But at least it's better than drinking Bud Light all the time.
Oh God, isn't anything. Yeah, but I would imagine I would go to my second other vice, and I would find the bourbon, wouldn't I?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that information has been brought to you by the Memphis Tourist Board.
And if
So if
you'd
you-
like to send us a lot of bourbon,
We will promote it when we're able to, anytime for you. So thank you very much to that. So anybody in the southern states of America, that'd be wonderful. Right, so considering we had nothing else to do, we'd run out of ideas. We've gone to the author of a book, and now you've changed hats again.
I've changed hats again. Yes,
Yeah, so we're not.
came in through the window.
So we're doing that now. We're not doing Talking Elvis. We're going to do the 3 specials a year. Next one coming up is going to be around about Christmas. Because
Got to be done.
Getting early before the frozen turkeys go, folks. I myself was in Aldi yesterday, fighting pensioners for them. So I've got a nice,
I bet they
I've
won't.
got a nice stock there. Oh, do you know anything about? Well, we're talking about that Christmas and stuff. Do you know anything about how long is it all right to put a turkey in the freezer for? Before
Yeah, I
before you
mean,
eat
you
it?
could buy it for a couple of weeks, month early. I should have thought you'd be fine.
Well, that's a bit of a problem because I put one in there yesterday. When I woke up this morning, it was dead. So we've said we're going to do 3 a year, 3 specials on Talking Elvis. That's good.
I think unless something amazing,
Unless something else
crops up.
crops up. So yeah, that's down to you, dear listener. Come on, get your thoughts together and let us know. But we have been approached by another organisation. We can't say too much at the moment.
Say no more.
Can't say too much at the moment. We have been approached by somebody who wants us to do another thing.
Podcast with a difference.
Indeed it is.
But a definite connection to Elvis.
Yeah, yeah.
So there will be Elvis's watch this space.
So so we're going to be doing that. We will let you know through the Talking Elvis website in the first instance, and on the Facebook page and then the Instagram page. We'll send you the links. So that's going to be very exciting. Looking forward to that. Sometimes you just got to try something different, haven't you?
Yeah, I think there's no point dredging over the same old. There's only so much you can say about DJ Fontana, and it's all good.
Yeah.
But when it's been said, it's been said.
Yeah. We are. We also before we go for today, and bid our sort of adios to you. We're going to set up a GoFundMe page because it could be that the Elvis Presley fan club of Great Britain.
Todd's selling it, isn't it?
Is available. So if you can join our GoFundMe page, and we're going to buy that on your behalf.
Yeah. So we're up to about £2.10, aren't we?
Something like that. Yeah. It would have been a bit more, but we had to buy this beer somehow. That's the problem.
Come on, Todd. Let's sell it. Let's see what it's going to do. But I'd hate to see it go. I'd hate to see it just gone.
Yeah, it's been part of our lives, all our lives. So it's.
Isn't it amazing how the British fan club is probably still the most respected
and the most well known around the world? Certainly, it gets all the special deals in Memphis and Tupelo. For August weeks and January.
And if you're not sure who we're talking about, who Todd is, just watch her in concert.
Yes, indeed.
The Elvis Presley fan club of Great Britain.
Yeah. He's on your in concert LP, folks.
Yeah.
So there we go. Have a listen to that. So so let's end on a little bit of a nice note. So
it's not the end of Elvis. It's not the end of being an Elvis fan. I think we've done radio, we've done discos, we've done events, we've had guests I was on. I just don't like anything getting stale.
No, and we have to keep things fresh, which is the point of it all. We're not going to broadcast for the sake of it.
So if you've enjoyed it, tell your friends. If you haven't, keep your mouth shut.
Simple as that. It's been an absolute belter of an 18 months, despite everything that's going on in the world. And to
probably kept us sane through COVID.
It really did, didn't it? It kept our creative juices flowing.
That's really good.
Really good. So thank you to everyone. And whether you appeared on the show or whether you were just listening to the show.
That makes sense.
Indeed, it is. So,
and I'm sure that with the COVID lifting and all that, we're likely to be back at a do before long. So if you see us at the bar, what do they need to do?
Buy us a drink.
That's exactly right.
Find us at www.talkingelvis.co.uk or Facebook or YouTube or Spotify. In fact, any place you get your podcasts.